Sirach chapter 27 verse 3, because this is crucial. This is important, right? And it's truth, and we have to understand, this in these last days, right? This is the book of Sirach chapter 27 verse 3. It said, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house should be soon overthrown. So you as a brother, right, and you're ruling over your household, you got to make sure that you diligently fearing the Lord, right? What's the fear of the Lord? The fear of the Lord is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? So we got to make sure that we lead our household correctly. As I said, let's get the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14. Right, verse 13. It say, now therefore set thy house in order. Right, so you got to set your house in order, right? So it has to be it has to be Yahawah, Shah, man, woman, and child, right? That's that divine order that the Most High set up in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3, right? And Numbers the 30th chapter. And reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. So we gotta reprove thy people. That's a job as a man. A man supposed to have his house in order, right, and go out there and rebuke his people, man. Go out there and teach his people to turn from the ways, right? Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature, right? So cast all that weak thoughts, right, away, man. Man the hell up. Get your households in order and keep these law, statutes, and commandments, right? Let's get the book of Matthew, right? Because a real man in the Lord will be doing this in these last days. Right. Matthew chapter 7, right, verse number 24. They say, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, right, and doeth them, I will liken unto him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. So you got to build your house upon that rock, right? What is that rock? That rock is Yahawah Shah, right? Yahawah Shah is that strong foundation, right? So your house, and of course the man has to be rooted in the Lord, right? So you got to be able to teach a woman, teach your children, right? I know, brothers might have more than one wife. You got to be able to handle that. You got to be able to maneuver. You got to be able to know what to do in these last days, exactly what to do, right? You got to know how to pray for your brothers, pray for your wife, your children, your family, right? Being a man in the Lord is not easy, right? So you got to make sure everything is set in order so that everything can run smoothly, right? The man doing what he's supposed to do, right? Doing the work of the Lord, providing. The woman taking care of the household, taking care of her husband, taking care of the children, right? Children listening, obeying their parents, right? And of course, the common goal is serving Yahawah B'Shem Yahushua, right? So let's go back to Sirach 27:3. All right, and let's say, unless a man hold himself diligently, right, in the fear of the Lord, his house should be soon overthrown. Right. Let's get that fear of the Lord. Let's get the book of Proverbs. Right, chapter 1, verse 7. Right. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction, right? And what is that wisdom? Let's hit the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 3, right? Having that knowledge, having that understanding, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 3. A man of understanding trusteth the law, and the law is faithful to him as an oracle, right? So having that fear of the Lord, right? You want to do what's pleasing unto the Lord, right? Let's get the book of Deuteronomy. And I want to get Might be 31. That's good. Bear with me, Israel. It was on the top of my tongue, top of my head. Bear with me. Here we go. All right, so this is the true. This is how you fear the Lord. Deuteronomy 31:12. Gather the people together, man and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gate, that they may hear, right, and that they may learn and fear the Lord your God, and deserve to do all the words of this law. Right, so when you fear the Most High God, you're going to be obedient, right? You're going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So that's why I say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? That's the beginning of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? And we read in Sirach 33:3 that a man's understanding trusts the law, right, and is faithful to him as an oracle, right? So unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, meaning in the law, statutes, and commandments, right, which in righteousness, right, his house should be soon overthrown. Right, so with that, I'm gonna give all honor and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rikakadash. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, the God of Jacob, right, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom.